We wheel them and we turn them and we rock them and we sound them and we temper them and laughs the rhythm sweet.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Riddim Suite. I'm your host Felicia Renee, and today we'll be interviewing the phenomenal Dahlia Harris. Hi guys, welcome back. We're sitting here with Dahlia Harris, who, is there a title for you? Phenomenal woman, Wonder Woman. She does everything. Is there?
That made me sound schizophrenic. When people say to me, Dahlia, how do we describe it? I say, oh Lord, if I tell you, it's going to sound like I'm crazy. So Dahlia is good.
Let's run them off. Host.
Yeah, so I do television, hosting, I do radio, I write, I direct, I act, I produce, I do communications, I MC, I do event planning. Yes.
So I'll compare to now because that's where we are, guys. Fantastic. So today we're going to be focusing on the hosting because we got to see a little bit of Smile Jamaica, which was fantastic. But tell us how you got into Smile Jamaica.
I started television many years ago, 1995 to be exact.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went into sports. So people who've been watching CIN for a while remember me doing the weekly sports roundup on CIN. And then when they started doing the morning show, Smile Jamaica, they asked myself and Simon Crosskill to do just Fridays because it was a sports day and they wanted people who had knowledge of sport. Right. And so I started on the Friday. And then, we just started expanding days and so on. So really that's how I got onto Smile Jamaica. Neville and I knew Neville when I went into media, I think in 1992. And I was at Power 106. We used to do a lot of coverage of football and so on. And, he's a coach. So me and Neville is friends from long time. So what you actually see on Smile Jamaica, I tell people, we really are all friends. Off the set, we communicate with each other all the time. So what they see is really, really who we are.
Is this something you've always wanted to do, TV?
No. Growing up, and so I like to tell young people, don't limit the possibilities for yourself, because teaching is what I grew up around. My mother was a teacher. She's a retired principal. My sisters all taught at some point in time, even though they're doing different things. And I just always saw myself as being a teacher. I managed the volleyball team, and I just by chance did an interview for television. And based on that, Ed Barnes, who was editor at the time, contacted me and said, well, you sound pretty articulate. You have a lot of knowledge of sports. Would you like to work on TV? And I was like, what? What is he talking about, work on TV? So I went, I auditioned, and they were gracious enough to do the training at JBC. And really, that's how I ended up in television. But I never had any dreams or thoughts that I could be in media.
But I know that you are. Is there any place else for you?
Absolutely not. I've been so blessed. And because Jamaica has such a rich sporting history, I think that's what's made it even greater for me, because I'd have worked in an era where I would have met Herb McKinley, but I also would have seen the growth and development of Usain Bolt as a youngster coming up. The same thing for the Courtney Walshes, Michael Holdings, the Chris Gales. So I've been able to witness and meet and talk to some incredible people. So I think that's been the blessing for me to be in media.
What would you say your motivation is?
I think one of the things that I go by is my mother's always taught us to just do whatever you're doing at 100%. She wasn't particularly fussy about what it is, but she just felt if you're going to do it, you should commit to doing it well. And so that's always my motivation. If I'm going to do something, I have to see it through to the end. I have to make sure it's done right. Sometimes people say, Lord, you miserably. but I think that's the commitment to getting it done. That's a part of how I was grown up, and I think that's what I always do.
Does that carry over into directing as well as writing? And
absolutely. So, if I'm going to do a play, I want to get it done right. And so the actors that I work with will tell you a lot of it is about telling the story. Make sure, so we can get laughs and, we can entertain, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that when people leave the theater, they go away with something edifying and they leave with some kind of thought process in their mind. And that's important for me. And so, you know, them said, Dahlia, you can't change up Dahlia lines, them, you know. Because she said, what you change them up for? So I try to make sure whenever I take on a project, I have enough time to do it. Because I want to make sure it's done right.
Was your performance background a buck-up thing too? Like you just fell on the stage?
No, not at all. I been doing the JCDC Festival of the Arts since age 4.
Wow.
My mother is very big on the arts. She actually thought I was going to be a singer because I used to sing a lot in church. So I used to do a lot of that. Less in high school because we did some, but not a lot. And so when I left Woolman's, that was basically it for me. I never saw a career in the arts for myself. I was never exposed to the idea of having a career in the arts. But working on television, Jambies International did a play called Children in 2000. And they pulled together people from the media, people that thought people, would know as being popular. And so that was my first commercial play. And then doing that play with them, they said, no, but you have a little talent, man. Yeah, and so right after that, I worked with Oliver Samuels, and I was like, Lord have mercy. How me end up in a this cast and now with Glenn Campbell and Oliver Samuels and Christopher Johnny Daly, Claudia Pius.
Great.
But, I said to people, one of the things is you must always be prepared for opportunities. People talk a lot about not being able to grow and not being able to go places. And when they come, just give it 100% because you never know where that will take you.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to follow in your footsteps?
Don't. meaning, follow your own footsteps.
I see.
If you begin to plot your life based on somebody else's, you're always going to be chasing, and I think that's you could end up unfulfilled. I think you can take advice from people. You can admire things people have done. So for me, I admire the way in which Will Smith and Tyler Perry, as actors, have moved into directing and producing and kind of taking charge of their career. But I would never be a Tyler Perry because his journey is different from mine. Right. So I would say to everybody, just plot your own graph. Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? And just work at getting there.
Now, I know that for me personally, seeing you on TV as a woman who is full-figured and beautiful, it really inspired me. Do you get that a lot from people saying, wow, thank you so much for being you and doing what you do?
I get a lot of things. And I'm at a point, for quite some time, where I realize people's response to you is a projection of themselves. And so there are a lot of people who are not comfortable in their own skin. And so they don't understand me being comfortable in mine. And so when they come to you and they say, oh, well, you look so big and you live on TV. Because I think in their mind they feel, because they're large size, they couldn't be. Or they feel, well, I've lost a lot of weight and I'm small size. I should be, because that's what TV. So I don't take it on. And then there are others who, will say, I'm so glad that you're doing that. It's 2016. I think we really just have to move beyond the surface. Because you can be so slim and so sad, so skinny and so sad, and so unfulfilled. And I think that's the key. I think once you are happy with earning your goals, working hard, I'm good.
So what has gotten you to that point?
I think I've always been at that point. Boy, if you try to live your life according to people, you'd go crazy. I remember one time I'd gone to the nutritionist to lose some weight. And that's what people don't understand. When I lose weight, that's on me. I'm not going to go lose weight because people say I have to. And I went to the nutritionist, and I went somewhere and I booked up a lady, and she said, yes, Dahlia, man, I saw you if you look. I like how you look now. Stay the size then, but I get back big. And I said, okay. And then when I went around the corner, lady said, I like how you look, you don't look good. Try put on back your weight, because you stay here now, not tan good. And I said to her, I said, come here. And I brought her to the next lady, and I said, I want the both of you to meet each other. And when you both agree how it is that I should look, when you call me and let me know.
Oh my God.
So you will never get to the point where you're going to please everybody. Never try to please everybody. I try to please the people that are important. And I think if they're your friends, family, and they love and understand you, they'll be okay. I don't advocate that people not be healthy, because there are some people, and right now, you know, you talk about obesity is going to give you high blood pressure and all them things. So if it's not healthy, I'd say, no, man, get yourself together. But I think it's more important for people to work on what's inside of them before they can work on what's on the outside.
So what don't people know about Dahlia Harris?
I like a lot of quiet time, and I think balance is important. I mean, a lot of people who are in the public eye who want to be in the public eye all the time, and that's not me. When it's public time, it's public time. But my neighbors will tell you when I go home and the door lock, it just lock. Yeah, man, door lock, man. So I watch a lot of television, probably do a little less reading. I love music. Yeah, I don't think people understand just how much I love music. I really, really, really love music.
And all types?
All types of music. Really, really love music. I wouldn't say I have split personality, but when it comes to work and getting things done, I can be very aggressive and very rough and tough, but I really very... So I will ball. People don't know I will ball, but I will ball at the least little things. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, stuff like that.
Why do you love your job?
People. Yeah, anything to do with people. And I think Smile Jamaica allows me to meet so many different people. I mean, like this morning you saw that senior citizen winner of the spelling competition. And I think that's so awesome, you know, to get seniors involved. Theatre, when we do theatre, I meet a lot of the patrons and realize that a lot of what we do impacts people's lives. Absolutely. We're entertaining, but people come. When we did God's Way, I met a lady, and she said she was just going through a very, very rough time. And a friend of hers came and said, let me carry you out. And she took her to the show, and she said at the end of it, she could resonate with the main character, and she just felt like leaving the theatre, even though things were bad, she would be able to overcome them, and things would get better. And I don't think you can put a price tag on something like that. So, you know, that's really why I like what I do. Hi, I'm Dahlia Harris. Every woman, all woman, I don't know, something like that. The Riddim, sweet.
We'll be right back.